Hi, children. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. So, make our present with positive thoughts. Be happy. So, let us start our lesson. In our last classes, we learnt about kinds of sentences. Lesson 1 it is sentences. In that lesson we learned kinds of sentences, and lesson 2 is subject and predicate. Now we are going to learn today lesson 3, phrases and clauses. Phrases and clauses. What is a phrase and what is a clause? Now let us start. There is two sentences are given here. The boys were playing in the field. We will go out for a morning walk at sunrise. In these two sentences, in the field, at sunrise, these group of words are do not make complete sense if they are used alone. If we used these group of words, which group of words? In the field, and at sunrise. These group of words, if we used alone, we will not get any complete sense. It means they depend on other words in a sentence. It means now in the field, for example, in the field, these group of words will not give us any complete sense. So these group of words are depend upon these group of words. The boys were playing. It will not give any complete sense if it stands in alone. Okay, if these group of words stand alone, we will not get any complete sense. So it depend on other group of words. Now in this second one, we will go out for a morning walk at sunrise. So at sunrise we will not get any meaningful sentence. When this group of words stand with the we will go out for a morning walk or any other group of words, then only we will get any meaningful sentence. And a phrase is a group of words without subject and a predicate and makes an incomplete sense. So what is a phrase? A phrase doesn't have any subject or predicate. A phrase is a group of words without subject and predicate. Doesn't have subject and predicate and makes an incomplete sense. For example, my brother is a good cricketer. Here good cricketer is the phrase. Diamond necklace, full of new books. Okay, these phrase don't have any subject and verb. Now look at these sentences. The baby who is smiling. The baby who is smiling. In this sentence, here this red part, who is smiling, it has its own subject and verb. So here this red part, here who is the subject, is smiling verb part. Whom I met yesterday, here I is the subject, met yesterday is a verb forms. So what is a clause? That we are going to learn from these two sentences. In the above sentences, who is smiling has a subject and a predicate. Subject is who, is smiling, predicate. Similarly, whom I met yesterday, here I is the subject, predicate met yesterday. Such a group of words with its own subject and predicate is known as clause. So a clause has subject and a predicate itself. A clause is a group of words which contains a subject and a predicate and is a part of a sentence. A clause is a group of words which contains a subject and a predicate and is a part of a sentence. Some more examples are given here. Harry reached the station when the train had already left. Here, train is the subject. Had already left is the verb part. The boy who rescued the child from drowning was rewarded. Here, who is the subject? Rescued the child from drowning is verb part. Here, Neha, who is very pretty, got married last week. Here, who is the subject? Is very pretty, verb part. So, what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words without a subject and a predicate. Mainly, you just learnt this one. Without a subject and a predicate. A phrase doesn't have subject and a predicate. This point you have to always remember. Now, what is a clause? A clause itself has its own subject and a predicate and is a part of a sentence. Okay, Harry reached the station when the train had already left. Here, this part is a part of a sentence. Now we are going to do the exercise part. Write whether the underlined group of words is a phrase or a clause. The boy who was walking through the street heard a dog barking. Here, who was walking through the street is the underlined part. Here, who is the subject, was walking through the street, verb part. So, it's a part of a sentence also. So, this is a clause. It's a part of a sentence and it has its own subject and a verb. That's why it's a clause. The smiling baby made me feel happy. Smiling baby. Smiling baby is a phrase part. Smiling baby. It doesn't have a subject part or it doesn't have a verb. That's why it's phrase. Do not believe all things said. Here all things subject part. Said is the verb. So it is clause. Fourth one, he was showing off in his new car. Here this in his new car, phrase part. I saw a peacock with beautiful feathers. This also phrase because it doesn't have subject and a verb. Although he was severely wounded, the soldier kept fighting till his last breath. So here he is the subject and was severely wounded, verb part. So this is clause. Now complete the following phrases and clauses by making meaningful sentences. You can make your own sentences. No problem. It is not compulsory to write my. Now first one, a wealthy man. He is a wealthy man. It's a simple sentence. He is a wealthy man. This is a phrase. Now next one, who was wearing a red shirt? The man who was wearing a red shirt was my father. Smiling face. He turns to find the smiling face of his son. Here you can't see. No? Here after face of his, after that you just write son, S-O-N. He turns to find the smiling face of his son. He turns to find the smiling face of his son. S-O-N, son. S-O-N, son. Now, fourth one, which is made of diamond. The necklace which is made of diamond is very precious. The remaining part I written here. The necklace which is made of diamond is very precious. Fifth one, a blank page. She turned to a blank page in her notebook and began to write. She turned to a blank page in her notebook and began to write. Now the last one, that is lying on the table. The book that is lying on the table is mine. The book that is lying on the table is mine. So this is the lesson, very easy lesson, very small lesson it is. So in this lesson we learnt about phrases and clause. Phrase doesn't have subject and predicate or subject and verb part, but the clause has its own subject and predicate and is a part of a sentence. Always you have to remember these two things. Very easy lesson. Take care. Bye. See you tomorrow.